There's other colors?
Yeah, there's like Swedish Fish and Friends, where it's like green ones and
Ew.
like they're not bad, but I'm a fan of the red ones.
When I was traveling from Milan back to America, we had a long ass layover at like the Amsterdam Copenhagen airport, and the only thing open were vending machines, right? And
Yeah.
I was looking at the vending machine. I was like, "Oh, look, a Haribo. I like a good old gummy." So sure, but it was like they had this Haribo Conquistador pack, and I was like,
That
okay,
sounds awesome.
You think all of them were black licorice?
Oh,
Is that the reason that all like the more east you go into Europe, the sadder the people become, is because that's their version of candy?
your chat feeding you a POV. Gerber's feeding you a Swedish Fish.
Oh no. Let me open up your chat on another window so I can.
I'll do the
what-
same for you. That was actually smart.
Yeah, so I can see what they're saying. And then vehemently ignore them if they start saying things that don't align with my opinion. Oh, cool.
Chat, make me look cool, talk.
Cool, I got a Taco Bell ad. Pop out.
Yeah, I need
chat.
to adjust my thing.
On camera?
No, I can't. I got to adjust the ad times because I set it to what Twitch's default now is like so high.
I mean, didn't Derek take a screenshot once of the ad placements for his stream, and it was like 30 minutes of ads in one segment? It was bad.
So I set it to the default, which is like you only have ads the beginning and end of hour, which I kind of like. I would rather, as a viewer, watch ads in the beginning of an hour for 3 minutes, but then have an hour ad free.
Well, that's like I think that's like when you get like not affiliate, partner and ambassador deals. That is usually the agreement that you have to play an ad every hour on the hour.
Yeah, because I know Hassan does that.
I know Julian does that too. I have not seen an ad on a Julian stream in a long time because I think that may be one of my longest Twitches that I'm subscribed to. What Twitch thing have you been subbed to the longest?
Sarah.
Okay, well, see, that's...
We sub to each other on Twitch.
Aww.
To the person in Chrissy's chat, they have not merged yet. They had one meeting, guys.
They
had
a meeting. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's definite.
Still bad, but everyone
Put away your
breath.
Molotovs for now. Like,
Same thing with the like Studio Wit One Piece thing. Just because the music video was AI doesn't guarantee the show. Take a breath.
it's a wait and see. Wait and see. Alright, I gotta put my flavoring in this water and then we can start. Because it has caffeine.
Oh my god, are
in
you
it.
using one of those Air Up bottles that everyone keeps talking about?
Okay. I don't want to be mean. I'm not a mean person, but those things feel like a scam.
I kind of think they're cool. I want to try it.
I want to try it, but when you say the concept of it, it just feels very placebo-y, if
No,
that
I
makes
agree.
sense.
I agree. It definitely feels weird with the idea of like, I sniff water, so I'm liking it more.
Well, I mean, okay, there is science behind like olfactory mixed with taste. I also, not to be like the bummer, but like, I don't know, I feel like this is a good concept in theory of like, being healthy. However, I feel like this could shift badly very easily into a lot of like ED kind of things.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
just hopeful.
a lot of things are, sadly, there's just a lot of things relating to those kind of things that are, by their base, benign and, not bad. but it's just how easy it can become a bad thing. But yeah, that's not what we're talking about today.
That's not what we're talking about. Oh, before I introduce it, we're doing, hello, Frankie. I see you in chat.
Hi, Frankie.
But yeah, what we're doing today, chats, is we are going over the top 100 list of television shows of all time from Variety. If you don't know what Variety is, it's this pretty iconic media publication where they'll talk about like TV news and often break the big stories. So it's like Josh Hutcherson's penis will be in FNAF 2. Variety probably broke it.
Mm-hmm. It is I don't think it's one of the longest running like media publications when it comes to entertainment news, because that's the big thing. But yeah, Gerber sent this. The whole idea for this stream came because Gerber tagged me because that seems to be most of our conversations are, hey, what's your opinion on this? And thought it would make a good stream. I've skimmed through the list. I have not looked at every single one. I know what number 1 is, and I
do as well. I've skimmed it, but is there any shows, because we don't know every single show on this list, is there any shows in particular you want on this list? That
well, I mean, I know some shows I wanted on the list that's not on here.
Yes.
But like, I really want to see. I want to see some classic, like, sitcoms, you know, like Dick Van Dyke Show and, you know, things that... I like to see the things that form the pioneers kind of thing. That would be my biggest... I would be sad if... I know, cartoon person. I would be sad if the Flintstones wasn't on here, given the fact, like, it's a simplistic show, but that literally was the show that started primetime animation.
Yeah. I would agree. I would agree with you. I think Flintstones definitely deserve... I don't know. I don't actually remember if it's on this list.
I mean, I know Simpsons is on the list because every single, like, border or whatever has Marge and Bart somewhere on here. I mean, literally, at the bottom of Lucille Ball's bosom is The Simpsons, so...
It should have been me! But yeah, let's get started with number 100. Community.
Okay.
I think this place. I think this is a place on the list, even though I don't think.
You know, I think Community is a fantastic show.
I don't think it's entirely consistent.
Yeah.
Because definitely the front half is better than the second half.
I mean, that's kind of, you could say the same thing of like The Office, and you know, it's very seldom you find shows that are consistent quality throughout its whole run. Especially for a run as long as Community, because, like, that's, what, 6 years?
6 years at 2 networks.
Yeah, so, plus look, Childish Gambino's in the show, so it is, and it's, you know, it provides us well. I think 100 is very nice. I also love that they actively chose to pick a screenshot of this show that doesn't have Chevy Chase in it.
This is basically, if they just took this and said Community movie, it would kind of be the marketing they're already doing.
Mm-hmm.
Just cut out Chevy Chase. Everyone else is back, but not him. No, Chevy Chase.
Have I ever told you the story of Chevy Chase's Comedy Central roast?
Oh, doesn't it like... Nobody would like actually want to talk about it. Oh yeah,
so basically no one was allowed to not no one was allowed. Most roasts, they do get people's friends there. Like, they don't always get just random celebrities to join in. But no one wanted to go to Chevy Chase's thing, so they got a bunch of random people, and they just were, you know, they rightfully bullied him. Thank you, Wayward Wizard. Isn't that Luke?
That's Brady.
Oh, that's Brady. Brady, why did you follow me on Twitch? I'm streaming on YouTube.
Brady, where are you in my chat, Brady?
But so they got a bunch of random people, and it was so brutal that Chevy Chase afterwards just cried in his hotel room with Paul Scheer.
That almost makes me feel bad for him, but he is racist, so...
Yeah. Okay, so number 99. Hannibal. Okay.
I have watched everything except for the last, like, arc of the show, so like the last 5 or 6 episodes. It's very good. I don't... I'm torn.
wonder, and I feel like this is going to be a running thing with a lot of the shows, especially on this first half of the list. How many of them are only on this list because they are really good and they are also fresher in the mind?
So, my mixed feelings on this being on the list is, I think it deserves a spot on the list, only specifically because it kind of, I feel like, you know how there was like that shift of like every drama is now like a prime drama where it's like, oh, if this is on network TV, this is on NBC, it doesn't feel like that, and I feel like that's been the way we've been going. And I would argue that this is the start of that, but also it does fall into like the typical NBC issue of like, I don't know if I would put episodic-ish shows on a list of best TV shows because it's like, to me, an overall narrative really happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it deserves a place because of what it is. But I
don't think I'd put it any higher or lower. Yeah. But I do think it, I'm thinking about it, I do think it deserves a spot.
It deserves the mention that it got. Okay, so now to number, and chat, if you guys have any opinions, do say them, and then we'll say if you're stupid or not. Homeland?
Yeah, number 98 is Homeland. This show is racist.
Wait, what?
This show's like super xenophobic. It's about like how do we stop terrorists in the Middle East. But fun fact, I learned this because it was TikTok the other day. Is they have like random art on the wall sometimes, and it was like the show was so xenophobic that like a Middle Eastern like art collective in a college came up with an idea of, let's see if we can become artists for like wall art in like the Middle Eastern sections of it, and put in other languages just how racist the show was.
And
they got
amazing.
They actually are. You can find it.
Oh, that's amazing. They should have made that the picture that they used for the article.
Because of how fast production was. They didn't actually have time to do it. They just were like, Chrissy, just put that on the wall. I don't care what that is. Just do it. But it got found out, and no one stopped it. They just kept letting it go like further until it finally hit the creator after the show was ended. He's like, damn, they got us.
I remember seeing a few episodes of this show, right? I know it was on Showtime, but honestly, this could have been something that aired like before SVU or something like that. Like
SVU is better. At least SVU.
SVU is I have SVU hilariously because of the Hulu addition to Disney Plus. I can watch Special Victims Unit on Disney Plus.
See, fun fact, you could ask me, I paid for Peacock by accident.
Oh, I mean, and most people's Peacocks are by accident, so...
They didn't tell me when it was renewing or ending, so I just got a charge of $60 and I was like, God damn it.
Oh, you got the annual plan?
Yeah, because there was like a deal that it was like $20 for the whole year. And I was like, oh, I'll get that for my mom, because she likes one of the soap operas that's on it. Should have fucking used it, but...
But yeah, I don't know if I would put Homeland on this show, on this list, because, like, look, there is something to be said of, like, I mean, even the article states that she's an unreliable narrator and all this stuff, but I don't feel like this show actually dissects the ethics behind what it's doing.
Yeah.
I feel like if it just did do that, and it had plenty of time, it ran for 9 years, it could deserve that spot. But I don't know, this just feels like a mom who just got home from working at the nursing home show that they watch, you know?
I mean, yeah, it's like some of those HBO shows where you're like, The Rock had an HBO show that ran for 6 years. What are you talking about? That's me with Homeland. Where I'm like, Claire Danes was on a Showtime show for almost a decade.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna move. This is a point of contention with me. Why is shows like Top Chef on here?
So I'd argue some reality shows do deserve to be on here. Not Top Chef. Not Top Chef. Listen, I don't hate Top. I don't hate Top Chef, but it's kind of a bad chef show.
I hate the image they use. She looks like she's about to do an apology video.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey gamers, today I really want to talk about."
I'm breaking my silence about this roasted chicken.
So the eggs were spoiled in the basket, and someone died. I've had a long, hard look at my life about it, and I just want to apologize. Yeah, no, Top Chef's a bad cooking show. If you're gonna watch a cooking show, watch fucking Iron Chef.
Iron Chef should be on this list if they're gonna have cooking. And I would say they need to put the original Iron Chef on there.
Yeah. There's a reboot on Netflix that's pretty good. Sarah and I watched like half of it. Oh shit, that reminds me, we gotta finish that.
But or watch the Great Food Network challenge when they make all those wacky cakes. I used to watch the shit out of those during like Thanksgiving and Christmas. But yeah, Top Chef, no. I mean, I would argue most shows that air on Bravo should just not be on this list.
I'm ready for the next one whenever you want to scroll down. We'll alternate reading them off. If
the
you'd like.
Good Fight?
Yeah, number 96 is The Good Fight. No one's ever watched this because no one has Paramount Plus. It's a spinoff of The Good Wife, which, honestly, I'm going to say it. Mm-hmm. Of the major networks of ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS, CBS has one good show, and it's just Survivor.
Oh, I hope Survivor's on this list.
It has to be. It has to be.
I mean, that show like redefined a lot of reality shows and the stakes it could have. Like,
it's the only reality show. Like, I kind of feel left out that I don't watch Survivor anymore. I think I'm going to start watching Survivor. Survivor used to be like an
event,
And they made it that way again because it's like 90-minute episodes. Every episode's 90 minutes now.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing that came out of the writer's strike was like, hey, we're more Survivor.
Yeah, they need to bring back more contestants who are willing to just walk around the beach naked, like the guy in like the first season.
I think he got like yelled at for that.
Yeah, but like, hey, it was like people like that inspired characters like Owen in Total Drama. He's like a 1-for-1 of that guy. So, but yeah, I've never heard of this show, so I have no opinion.
I know about it, have not seen it, but how good could it have been? It's been on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
They got Zoe 102.
They have Zoe 102, the iCarly show, and all those South Park TV movies.
Events. Chrissy, don't say movies. Don't say movies. It's events.
Events. I'm sorry, events.
Yeah, come on. Don't be careful. Be careful.
If I say movies, then they're gonna have to go back to court.
Yeah, they're gonna do it at HBO Max. All right, and number 95 is Black Mirror.
Okay.
I'm okay with this. I'm hoping Twilight Zone is later in the list because this is the modern. I need the classic.
Yes, Black Mirror. I'm conflicted about Black. I think it deserves a spot on this list for when they do it right. Like, because
here's the most recent
thing.
Season was pretty good.
Oh, the most recent season is. The thing with Black Mirror is that it's kind of like American Horror Story, where you get some really baller seasons, and then there's the rest of them. And I feel like Black Mirror can be a little bit more inconsistent, but that's, again, like, their episodes are essentially mini-movies, movie-vellas. So,
that's how I felt. Yeah, that's something I feel like I've felt has been both a detriment and a curse. I kind of, the switch to streaming has let for longer episodes, which is like great because I think longer episodes, if you need it, do it. Like, I think this, I don't know if it's on this list, but unpopular opinion, Stranger Things, I liked that the last episode of season 4 is 2.5 hours long because it kind of needs it.
Yeah.
But like some of the Black Mirrors, like when Sarah and I were watching the newest season, I was like, this is good. You don't need to be an hour and 15 though.
What's your favorite Black Mirror plot that they've done that you've seen so far?
The first episode, I love them fucking the pig. Nope, don't clip that. No, I actually, it's from the newest season, but so it might be some recency bias. But I really love the like demon one from like the special episode this season.
Oh, that one was a good one. I really liked the one that was the concept of the daughter of the guy who got sentenced to death, and there's like that whole business of re-watching them, people who love the morbid just re-watching people's death sentencing,
Yeah.
the electric chair and everything. Thought that was a really good concept. And yeah, so I think Black Mirror it does some very avant-garde and like weird concepts that other shows would not do, because I don't think they would find it as marketable. So we need more shows like that who are willing to be a little, hey, let's be a bit of a freak. Let's be a freak.
Anthologies. I feel like anthology is a genre. It is, listen, hey, if you're listening, Mr. Kevin Feige or Mr. James Gunn, it's me. I'm a fan. Do a superhero anthology show. One episode, a new character.
You have plenty.
You have so many.
Yeah.
Give me Ambush Bug. Give me Stilt Guy from Spider-Man. I don't know. Just fucking go nuts.
It's kind of why I miss shows like the Justice League animated series and Brave and the Bold to an extent. Just like, utilizing the showcases you have and having like contained stories within those. Because it's like, I miss stuff like that.
Shit, I'm asking for What If, but live action and good.
Please. And no party Thor, please.
Oh, I'm so nervous. It comes back tomorrow. Sarah and I are going to watch it. I'm like, please, no party Thor in season 2. I can't handle it mentally.
Imagine it's like the first episode and it's like, man, this is really good. And then party Thor comes in like, what? Right at the end. And then
I'm turning it off.
All right, so let's go to number 94. I May Destroy You.
So I have not watched this, but I've heard nothing but good things. And I actually think it probably deserves a place on this list just from everyone that I know that have seen it has said it's like revolutionary and like will make you feel every emotion you can possibly feel.
I have watched this show and I was, how people say that they were wrecked after like the finale of BoJack and stuff?
Yeah. Is this every episode?
This is, it wrecked me. I was like, oh, I guess I either don't need to go to therapy this week, or I need to like double book therapy this week.
That's what I've heard. And I do want to watch it. It is definitely on my watch list.
It's just to let people know, great show. You need to be in the headspace to watch this show. Because, go to this article. It's on Variety. Read the description. You'll know why. But okay. Wow, jumping to an extremely different tone with number 93.
Yeah, number 93 is Will and Grace. I have only seen a little bit of it because this is one of my mom's favorite shows. I think for sitcoms, and I feel like it deserves a place. I don't know. I feel like I'd maybe put it lower than some of the other things on this list, even though we're at only 93. But it does probably deserve a place.
It deserves a place because, well, I feel like we're going to be saying this more and more of what impact it made, on entertainment.
It's the rare show where half the cast is gay.
Yeah.
At least in this era.
Where the actors were gay and the characters were gay. And I know that, a lot of people watching probably weren't even alive during this time, but it's like, that, like, 98 and everything, that was big. That was big to do. And the fact that it ran so long for being such a controversial show at the time.
And I'm like, it like is one of those things where it's like, to you as a viewer, if you don't know the fact, like, it's not even like a big deal that these characters like came out. Like, you take something like the Ellen Show, which I think was around the same time as this. To put it in some perspective, that was a big deal when Ellen came out on that show. Mm-hmm. This started, it was just like, fucking dudes.
I wish the reboot didn't happen that they did in 2017, which I did not know ran for 3 years.
Yeah, and I think it was at one point so bad. I think they like stopped liking each other midway through it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, if I'm viewing this from the perspective that they are talking about the original run, and yes, I do think it has a place on this list, I think I would have put it, like, I mean, still higher than Homeland, but or I would have just taken out Homeland, put Will and Grace there, and put another show on the list.
Fair.
Alright, let's get to 92.
Oh, I have no idea about this. It's called Saint Elsewhere.
I do not know what the hell this is.
I do not know what this is.
Wow, this is the oldest show so far we have on the list, too. That we've gotten to.
Go off, Saint Elsewhere. I've never heard of you, so I don't know if I think we're just gonna go to 91.
Let's see. Critically beloved hospital drama, and is often associated with another NBC series that it premiered later in the year, like Hill Street Blues and Saint Elsewhere. Oh, so it was a really realistic hospital drama. And it apparently had a crossover with Cheers.
Yeah, and Howie Mandel died and went to heaven, but then got revived.
I kind of need to watch this show.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I will say some of the old. So we had the talk about procedurals, right? I tend to prefer a serialized storyline. I will say there's another one later on this list. Sometimes serialized storyline is an old like cop or medical shows. That shit's like popcorn. I'm shoveling it in my mouth as I'm watching.
Yeah, but okay. I'm just saying, you had a crossover with Cheers, realistic hospital thing, and Howie Mandel dying and going to heaven. That is the best elevator pitch you could get.
Yeah, you sold me. You sold me.
You sold me, NBC. So yeah. Okay. So 91. Oh, our first animated show.
Yeah, it's Daria. I have never seen Daria.
Oh, I love Daria. I mean, it's a show that's both of its time and also ahead of its time. Because I feel like the type of main character Daria is, like the very sardonic female lead, is kind of a commonplace thing nowadays. To the point of a lot of like influencers and stuff are also that type of character.
Yeah, that's kind of my issue. I feel like if I don't know if I could watch Daria at the moment, because I feel like it's just a product of its time, and it's like, you're right. I've also, because of how normalized it is to have like the cynical, like unbothered protagonist, kind of become a trope I don't love.
Yeah, but like I think, Daria does it very well, and it's one of those things where you kind of have to put yourself in the headspace of what was TV like back then.
Yeah. It's
also very weird to just look at a show like Daria, and I guess you could say the same with King of the Hill, and be like, wait, this spun off from, Fire a Cornholio show? Because it's a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead.
Which apparently is on its like third season of its reboot.
Yeah, it's doing very well, but I have not heard a single person say a thing about the reboot show.
Like, sure, go off, Beavis and Butthead fan.
The only thing I've seen about the Beavis and Butthead reboot show is that they were watching, in one of the segments, I guess they're watching BTS, and Beavis is a closet BTS fan, and so
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny.
All right, so. Oh, no.
I hate that I have to read this one. Number 90, The Cosby Show. Unpopular opinion. Even before everything that went down with Cosby, this show fucking sucks. I never enjoyed it.
Okay. The thing is, I don't know, there's something about The Cosby Show where its popularity always confused me. When there were other sitcoms that had a black family being the main characters that were so much better.
Yeah. I think it's because it's got like the same thing I would say with like Full House, where it's very like easygoing. There's not a lot of drama. And that's probably why I don't like it. Like I don't know if it's on this list, but spoiler, I don't care for Full House that much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just too sugary sweet for me.
Well, like, if Full House does come up on the list, I do I understand the popularity of Full House when you find out that what a big portion of Full House's audience actually was. But there's just something about, especially watching the Cosby Show in retrospect, and just looking at Bill Cosby's like rhetoric in retrospect back then. It's a very like co-opting. It almost feels like sometimes that the characters in the Cosby Show don't feel happy about the fact that they are an African American family.
Yeah, it feels like a sitcom starring people of color written by someone that's not a person of color.
Yeah. But yeah, I understand the cultural impact it had, and it did, you know, despite what I think about the content of the show, and especially the character of Bill Cosby, it was an important show to, you know, set off, you know, having more shows with black leads. So I will respect it for that one point, but it's also just such a boring show.
I agree that it definitely, because it probably is the most it came before Family Matters, so it definitely it definitely helped the trend of like the black family in the sitcom.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely does have a place, even with its tarnished legacy of the star.
I really hope Fat Albert is higher on this list.
Number 89. You want to read it off?
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Good. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood deserves to be on this.
Okay, so I actually didn't have a lot of experience with Mr. Rogers. I've gone back and watched some of it, like in the more recent time, not anytime more recently. But have you seen the Mr. Rogers documentary?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I fucking cried my eyes out in theaters to watching that with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, motherfucker, I'm like, I don't really know anything about Mr. Rogers, but my mom was like a big fan. So I was like, let's go see it. Fucking both of us tears pouring out in the last 5 minutes. And I was like, God damn, this man's a hero. Mr. Rogers, you're great. He also he is one of the few celebrities that appreciated his SNL parody.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of Fred Rogers, and I love Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood is just so comforting. And I feel like it was like Sesame Street, which I know is on this list. It comforts and educates children on just how to be a good person without it feeling demeaning. It's just It's just like having a very gentle grandpa tell you to be a good person. It doesn't talk to you like a preschool show. It just talks to you gently, which I really respect.
I agree.
You're fine here, Mr. Rogers. 89's a pretty good spot, and man, I'm so happy that you're above the Cosby Show.
88, though, is General Hospital. L plus Days of Our Lives is better.
Yes, I agree. If I had to pick the sitcom that refuses to die, not sitcom, soap opera. Thank you. That refuses to die. I'm going to pick Days of Our Lives. The show that I recently found out has Charles Shaughnessy play not one, but two characters who are brothers.
Listen, if you think One Piece is long, Days of Our Lives is even more of a stretch. I dare anyone here, or any of my friends, if you want, I'm caught up on One Piece. I've read the manga. I've seen a majority of the anime. I'll go through all of Days of Our Lives with you.
I don't think we have enough lifespan to do that. When you go to the Wikipedia, it stopped counting the episodes. It just says 15,000 plus.
There are 14,000 episodes of Days of Our Lives.
Christ almighty.
And I believe all of them are on Peacock.
I feel like the most monkey paw wish you could ever have is, I want to be an actor on a successful show. Okay, you're on a soap opera. I can't imagine the workplace for those types of shows, because you're filming hour-long shows that air like every day.
That's a video idea. Jay, pull up. You, me, and Chrissy. We'll write a video together. Let's watching Days of Our Lives.
You see who quits first.
See, yeah. It's a fucking war of attrition. But yeah, General Hospital, it's fine. I think there's better soap operas.
Yeah, there's better soap operas, and let's just hope that Days of Our Lives is higher up on the list.
And number 87.
Hey.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm fine with this.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it because, like, Happy Days is one of those shows that's like, I don't think it could have been made before or after when it aired in that 10-year window. But for when it came out, it was great. I don't know if it's held up particularly well.
It's fine. Like, I feel like there are other like sitcoms and stuff that have humor that has aged better in that, like, still consistently funny. But I think it's for how wildly successful it was. I
didn't know Mork and Mindy was a spinoff of it.
Yep, Mork and Mindy was a It had like aliens. It had like 4 spinoffs. An animated show where they travel through time. Yeah.
Also, I have to comment on something in your chat. Hey, Darren, I know the idea. It would be fun for us to drink and watch Days of Our Lives on stream. It's still a copywritten show. You're going to get us yelled at.
That would be Also, that is just a homicide attempt right there of like...
Yeah.
What would be the drinking game? There's again, over 14,000 some episodes. Yeah. The tropes would occur at least once an episode. But yeah, I think Happy Days is good. It's very interesting to see shows from the 70s that have that nostalgia for the 50s.
Yeah,
and
it's
very
crazy.
Cyclical.
It's also weird.
Yeah.
To me, how we were pretty good about nostalgia, where it's like, all right, you go 10 years back for nostalgia, but now it's like we're still stuck. I feel like in 80s nostalgia.
We are like 80s and 90s, I would say. Yeah. Like
when we get to 2000s nostalgia, it'll be weird, but
it will. All right, number 86, Girls.
Oh, I hate Lena Dunham.
The only thing I know about Girls
is it good soup.
No, it's the Robot Chicken parody where they brought Girls, Lena Dunham's character onto Sesame Street.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And Grover just gets progressively more depressed throughout it. Yeah. But that is literally all I know about Girls, because Lena Dunham, I do not like her.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it deserves to be on this list, but I'm just gonna move on. Number 85, my boy Columbo.
Oh, you should be higher, Columbo. You are a treasure.
You should be higher, because nothing can keep you off air. Except for that 10-year period where you were not on air.
Nothing can keep you off air except for that 10-year period and the actor dying.
I argue that I feel like these kind of shows should come back. And I know Poker Face exists, and I have not watched it yet. Mm-hmm. But the detective who solves the case of the week, there's a market for it.
I also think we just need characters like Columbo, who's not Marvel snarky, just kind of like, he knows he's right kind of thing. Just, and one more thing. Like, I love Columbo so much.
He's such a guy.
I love his dog. Named Dog. But
yes, Columbo I would put maybe not in the top 50, but probably around the 50 to 60 range.
Yes, I'm so happy that Columbo's getting like a resurgence in popularity of people being like discovering Columbo. I love that.
All right. Number 84.
Atlanta.
I have not finished Atlanta, but it is great.
It is very good. It is very, very good. I have not finished it either. I am. The last season I have not watched.
I need to finish season 3, and then I want to get to the Goofy movie episode so fucking bad. You know about that one, right?
I have heard about that one. I really want to get to it.
But if it definitely is, it just shows how fucking talented Donald Glover is.
It really is. The dude's a triple. No, at this point, like what, a quadruple threat? He can act, he can write, he can sing, and dance.
Yeah, he can dance. I've seen him dance. Yeah, yeah. The guy's insane. And Atlanta, if you haven't checked it out, I definitely recommend it. There's one of my favorite episodes is the television episode in season 1 where it's Paperboy on that open access TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like random episodes and shows the guy who's like, listen, I actually am a white guy. I'm a white 45-year-old dad. He's like a 17-year-old person of color.
Mm-hmm.
Great show. Definitely watch it.
I think it's worthy of its spot in the list.
Yeah. All right. And then 83 is Stranger Things. How do you feel on that one? Take you know who out of the equation. I feel like judge it on the show.
I'm gonna judge it on its quality of it being a show and not on its actors. But I don't know. I feel like Stranger Things had a great first 2 seasons. I feel like Stranger Things is kind of waning on me. I don't know.
I don't know if I agree with you.
But however, it is a phenomenon. And I do think it deserves its place on the list. My personal opinion of Stranger Things is just I'm not as into it as I used to be.
I felt that in season 1. I liked. Season 1 is pretty much consistently good. Season 2 I don't really care for, but 3 and 4 have been kind of a resurgence for me.
Season 4 has been pretty good.
Season 4 has one of my favorite, it's some of my favorite moments from it, where I was like, oh, I actually want to go back and watch that.
Darren, just pointing it out, one of the few good things to come. There's a lot of good from Netflix.
Yeah, I hate on. It's fun to hate on Netflix, but they have been consistent. They're not HBO levels of consistently good, but Netflix is pretty good.
There's a lot. I could list a lot of shows that are on Netflix that are really good. Put aside the fuck ups of the higher up management. When it comes to the content they have, there's a lot of good. But I think just Stranger Things deserves to be on this list. I don't know if it would be as high up as it is. I know that we're only in the 80s still, but I feel like I would have put it below Columbo at least.
I also don't know if I would put it this high with it not being done. Because endings do a pretty big portion of will a show hold up? Because as a Stranger Thing right now, I'll rewatch. But if the 5th season is they slip on a banana and it sucks,
yeah,
I don't know if I would rewatch it. Everything else that's ended, I'm okay, I'll rewatch an episode of Columbo, or I'll watch fucking Black Mirror, even though it's not over. It's still self-contained.
It's also in an anthology, so it has the freedom to not be over yet. And General Hospital just won't die. It's a cockroach, so.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Okay.
I'll get him one day.
Why don't you take this one?
All right. Fleabag. Have you watched Fleabag? Because I
don't know what the hell this is.
So it is a British show that's on Amazon. I've seen the first season.
British.
Okay, but it's actually really good.
Okay.
I haven't watched season 2, which is apparently better, but I was blown away by season 1. Just have not found the time to watch season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely deserves a place on the list. It's also, because it's a British show, very short. There's 6 episodes. They're all about 40 minutes. It's got Olivia Colman, if you like Olivia Colman.
I do like Olivia Colman.
Yeah. Definitely deserves the spot. Would I put it higher? Maybe, because I've heard season 2 is one of those shows where it's oh, you're that good.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with it being on the list.
I like that that Darren asks, how British is it?
Not it's not super British.
What's the metric here of how
it's not
British?
Doctor Who British.
Is it? It's the top of the Britishness Monty Python.
No, it's probably Downton Abbey.
Okay, that's more it's the Crown levels of British.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the right amount where it's okay, they have accents, but still good.
Okay.
Well, and you'll take the next. Do I take the next one? Because
yeah,
I have no idea what this is.
I'll take the next one. 30-something ran from 87 to 91.
Huh?
I don't know if I like the fact that the that the flavor text starts with, "Okay, boomers, listen up." Okay, so apparently it's a television version of The Big Chill, a serialized story about a group of close friends, affluent Philadelphia baby boomers having feelings about their careers, marriages, and kids.
Someone's a big 30-something fan in your chat, and we're going to piss them off because I have no idea what this is.
I have no idea what this is. I mean, cool to see another serialized show from the 80s on here.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, hey, do you have Howie Mandel going to heaven and coming
Someone
back?
in your chat said it's friends but depressing.
Ooh, that's an interesting pitch.
Okay, that kind of swings a little bit. Oh my god, I scrolled to the next one and I'm bad.
Oh boy, why don't you read it?
Number 80 is Scandal.
Oh, why are you... Okay.
If you're going to pick one of the Shonda Rhimes show, pick How to Get Away with Murder. It's a better show.
I do not like Scandal.
I didn't care for it when it was airing. Which sucks because I think the acting and Shonda Rhimes makes good shows.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is...
I mean, look...
So,
I feel like there's aspects of it that are good. Would I say that it's one of the best shows of all time level of good? No, I would not.
yeah.
I don't know, there's something about it. I know a lot of people who love Scandal, but there's just something about it. It doesn't hit with me. I can acknowledge the good parts of it, but I'm just like, yeah, but nah.
Chrissy, I'll let you read the next one, but we're both going to be excited about the next one.
Yeah, baby!
Too low.
You need to be higher. It's time for the Muppet Show. Perfect picture, too, with one of the best guests they've ever had on the show.
The original Muppet Show is lightning in a bottle, and I don't know if they'll ever be able to recapture it.
I mean, I think that's why Disney doesn't know what to do with it, because I don't know if they know how to make a sketch show like that ever again.
Because it's both for kids, but my parents could watch it and still find it very funny, because there'll be stuff that appeals to them.
I mean, that's the genius of a lot of the Muppet movies before, maybe Treasure Island was the last one where I could confidently say of it was made, it's a perfect definition of for families where it can be enjoyed by each generation of the family.
Yeah, I actually think 79 is a little too low for it. I'd probably put it in my top 50, but I'm a big Muppets fan. I have Kermit the Frog.
I adore the Muppets, so I'm happy you're on the list, but you should be. I would put it in my top 50.
Yeah.
All right. God. Oh boy. Okay. Number 78.
Dallas. I only know the Who Shot JR thing.
Yeah, but that was one of the biggest things on the planet when it was.
I actually genuinely think, for basically being the big, moving, the big creator of the cliffhanger, I actually think it deserves to be on the list.
I would put Muppets higher, though.
I would also put... But is this just going to be it's worse than Muppets? It's worse than Muppets.
Yeah. My thing is just... Yeah. I feel like this was one of the first shows, besides maybe soap operas, where a community is built around the show, kind of thing, where it's because everyone's discussing theories and thought and things about it with the Who Shot JR and onwards, and it's now that's commonplace. We have Matt Pat got his career for a reason, but this one really started it. I did not know they had a very short-lived reboot in 2012 through 2014.
Yeah, and it started Elizabeth Gillies from Victorious.
Ha! Okay. But, yeah. Okay, you deserve to be on this list. Not as high, not higher than Muppets, but you deserve to be on this list.
Never.
Okay, this is okay, very deserving. Number 77, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. I love Jon Stewart. He is...
I agree, because it's one of those shows where, like, normally, if a regular news show, if they put fucking, like, Wolf Blitzer Tonight from CNN on this list, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing here? This is if you've never watched The Daily Show, if you have any children in the chat, who've never seen The Daily Show, it's very different.
Yeah, because I feel like, people will always have their argument of which news program comedy thing was better, this or Colbert Report. It's apples and oranges, because I feel like Colbert Report was more of a performance piece of the character of Colbert, and because he's supposed to represent the very Fox Newsy type of I love America type of characters. This one, it is just Jon Stewart, and
some of the funniest moments in late night, but also some of the most heartfelt.
Have you watched
9/11?
His monologue after 9/11 is one of the most heartbreaking things. And Jon Stewart's just a goat of a human being, of how much positive change he's just brought with his platform, including when he was on The Daily Show.
And some of the biggest names in, like, late night or news, he's just launched a career. He launched Colbert's, he launched John Oliver's,
Trevor Noah's, and all that.
Trevor Noah, like, it can't. I watched CNN did a documentary about late night television.
Mm-hmm.
It basically could not be stated just how important Jon Stewart was to the current landscape of late night television.
I also feel like, we could talk about the comedic aspect and the career things up and down. I think one of the things with Jon Stewart is also how he reported, because at the end of the day, they are talking about news. I feel like to bring it to some people who are internet pilled, it's like DeFranco show kind of things, where it was very to the point of, like, what when he wanted to talk about something, he didn't bullshit about it, which I feel like the only type of thing that we have now that's kind of in that same ballpark is Last Week Tonight with Jon Stewart.
Yes.
Not Jon Stewart, sorry, John Oliver. The other John.
Yeah, the British one.
Yeah.
And it's also, like, for a news show, he, like, gave you the facts, but he was not afraid to speak his mind. Like, there are some moments in The Daily Show where you're like, oh, he's just actually saying this on television.
Mm-hmm.
For thousands of people, for millions of people to hear.
Yeah, so you deserve to be on this list, Daily Show, with Jon Stewart.
Very much so.
And you know what? I'll even say you could be above the Muppets.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. All right, number 76.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know what we were saying earlier about shows with black families?
Hey, the better show
than the Cosby Show. There we go. There we go. I love Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The show holds up so well.
I think it should be top 50.
I agree. I agree with you. You know what?
76 is criminal.
I feel like it has some of the funniest moments on, like, what is the term for a show that it's a multicam show, right?
Yes, it's multicam.
I think it has some of the funniest moments from a multicam sitcom, and they really just got lightning with all the actors and their chemistry.
Oh my
I love
God.
this show. One of my favorite moments is when, I think it's Carlton's actor, he just runs off the stage and into the audience screaming his head off. And the cameras just didn't know what to do, so they just turned to the audience.
I also think I don't know if you've seen anything about the dramatic version they're currently doing.
I've only seen, like, one clip of it.
Apparently it's not bad, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because fucking Fresh Prince was hilarious, but also you have moments you're like, oh.
Oh yeah, like
I don't think you feel like that.
I mean, the whole, like, speech that Will's dad that Will gives after his dad leaves is, like, so fucking heartbreaking. Though the real goat of the show to me is James Avery as
my God. Yeah.
He is so good. One of my favorite moments from the show is when Carlton and Will get arrested and you can obviously tell that the cop is kind of racist. So he's like, I am a lawyer and I will, just laying into this guy. And it's like, I believe you, James Avery.
He was a masterclass of an actor.
Oh, yeah. I adore it. God rest his soul. But yeah, you deserve to be on the list, Fresh Prince. And you need to be so fucking higher. All right. Up next.
Number 75, Taxi. Haven't seen it, but I do know of its importance, so I won't argue with this. It also
I'm not gonna
crazy
argue
guest
if it's
stars.
I'm not going to argue if its importance. And being the show that was kind of like a jumping off point for stuff like for Tony Danza and Danny DeVito and all these people. It's like, not flagship. I guess jumping off point is the best term I can have. I have not watched it, but I know of it, and I know that it is an important show. So, no disagreements.
Yeah. And then number 74.
What is this show?
So this is a HBO Western. Apparently it's great, and they give it a movie. It also stars that man, Timothy Olyphant, and I love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever seen, I believe he was in Santa Clarita Diet.
Oh, I love Santa Clarita Diet.
He's the husband.
Oh my god, he is?
Yeah.
I did not recognize him.
Well, that's Ian McShane in the picture.
Okay. I was like, that's Ian McShane. Okay. But
yeah. It's apparently a very good Western, and it got canceled only because it was too expensive.
That makes sense. But you're the one who watched it or know of it. Do you think it deserves the spot on the list?
Yeah, I think, this might be unpopular because I know Westerns are kind of an unpopular genre nowadays. They've just fallen out of style. I think Westerns have a place in lists like this. And I would be surprised if Bonanza isn't on this list somewhere. Oh, I don't even know if it is. I feel like I should have looked for that. Yeah. But I think of modern Westerns, yeah, this is good.
Okay, before we get to the next one, I'm gonna need you to vamp for a few minutes. I desperately need to piss.
Okay. Chat, it's me. We're talking about this. Chat, what are your favorite shows? What kind of shows do you like? From both chats. My chat, Chrissy's chat. Also, if you're not in either of our chat, if you're in only one chat, go to both. YouTube.com/Cosmic Keyframe and Twitch.tv/Gerbertron16. Hello, Jorge. Psych is really good. I'm not the biggest fan of Psych. I didn't watch a lot of it, but it is one of my sister's favorite shows. Goof Troop, valid. I don't know if I've ever actually... Monk, also good. Did you watch the Monk movie?
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, that was not even that long. Fucking
What?
speed ran pissing.
I did. I'm still drying off my hands.
Chrissy out here doing the fucking, summoning salt, today we're talking about the Chrissy skip for piss.
I clipped through the bathroom door to save me a couple seconds. But okay. Why don't you read off the next one?
Number 73 is NYPD Blue. I know one thing about this show. I've not watched it, but they got yelled at because they decided to have an episode where they're like, fuck it, we're on ABC, we're showing a bare woman's ass.
You know what? Respect.
And I respect that.
I know of this show. And I know that, its existence helped, bring a lot of the cop court procedural shows that we have, that some of them still run, I don't feel like the Dick Wolf brand of TV shows would really exist if NYPD Blue didn't precede some of them.
Yeah, I think of the this is one of those shows that it's over 20 years old at this point, but I do think this probably does deserve to be on here.
Yeah,
and it showed a butt.
Yeah, but however, did you have a Muppet? I don't think so.
Yeah, did you have a Muppet?
Imagine. I don't know what show would even do it. Just an episode where they're like, okay, we're gonna go do Balls to the Walls. We're gonna have Kermit the Frog come on SVU to help Stabler solve a case. God,
I wish. I
would love that. All right, number 72, The Wonder Years. I know that this show is important. I feel like this precursor is going to be a running theme during this stream. I've watched The Wonder Years. It's okay.
Yeah, I've maybe watched 5 or 6 episodes of it.
It's okay, and I will give the respect that its ending isn't like a perfect happy ending kind of thing, which, you know, is seldom in shows around this time period.
How does it end? You can spoil it for me. It's
okay, well, like, so he doesn't get with the girl that he's been, you know, will they, won't they, the entire show kind of thing.
I respect that.
He also loses his virginity in a barn. And it's very much, it does capture the whole process of young adulthood and like growing up. So I do give it respect for that, but it's, you know, it's very okay.
Yeah, it probably doesn't. It probably deserves to be lower than higher than Muppets.
Yeah, I will not give it the higher than Muppets seal.
Yeah, but sure, you made it on the list. Congrats. Number 71 is Living Single. I have heard of this. I have not seen it, but it does have it's got Queen Latifah in it.
It does. This has a really good cast.
Apparently, it's just Friends, but they actually have let people of color be around.
Yeah, and apparently, it is the first show, like first primetime show made by a black woman.
Oh, let's go.
So, okay, look, by precedence, you deserve to be on the list.
Yeah, I'm not arguing.
And hey, Friends is good. So,
I disagree. Friends is on this list. We might have fighting words. I fucking hate Friends.
I hope Friends isn't on this list. So everything that we've stated that has the elevator pitch of Friends, but this being on there.
I think Friends is fucking boring.
I mean, Friends also has one of the most toxic leads with Ross. I hate Ross. All my homies hate Ross.
Let's save it till if it's on the list. I'm assuming it's on the list.
Okay, so number 70. The People vs. O.J. Simpson American Crime Story. It's a very good.
I hate that I have to give this to Ryan Murphy.
I know. Look, Ryan Murphy is like a clock that's broken. It's right twice a day.
I don't know. Some sort of hot sauce, probably.
Hi, Sarah.
I don't know. Hi, Sarah. She's asking, guys, help me. She's asking what sauce I want with my tempura chicken. I said hot sauce, but now I'm panicking.
Hot sauce, hot sauce.
Well, just give me some of my Taco Bell sauce.
Ew, you're fucking weird.
I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. I'm panicking.
Don't put him on the spot like that. Okay, but yeah, Ryan Murphy is right twice a day. Like a broken clock.
I hate it, because the show is so good.
By the way, isn't that David Schwimmer on the far right?
It's David Schwimmer, Cuba Gooding Jr., and John Travolta.
Speaking of Friends and me being like, I fucking hate you, Ross, that is not a reflection on David Schwimmer. David Schwimmer is a very, very good actor and producer.
And I've heard he's a sweetheart.
Yeah. I mean, apparently, like, I think the cast of Friends is great. But only when Friends is on the list, we will talk about Friends.
Yeah.
This is such a good, like, I guess you could put not historical drama, like what, biographical pick?
Biographical drama.
Yeah. It's really fucking good.
I didn't know, like, anything about OJ until I watched it, and I was like, this is so entertaining. I was like, will he get off? Will he off? I'm like, I know what happened.
Yeah, the fact that you can still be on the edge of your seat with a story that is older than your existence means that they did something right. I think it definitely deserves to be on the list. It's very interesting to see, a biographical show, mini-series be this high up. But I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I mean, listen, if we were talking about movies of the year for me, I come to realize I think I like biographical dramas, and sure, feed me more of this, Ryan Murphy. Just don't fuck it up.
Now, Ryan Murphy, you know what would make this really good? If you did The People versus O.J. Simpson, An American Crime Story 2, but this time
I mean, he
with
does have a second court case.
But this time with Fozzie Bear.
Waka waka.
Just replace it. There you go. All right. I have opinions.
Number 69, Roseanne.
Funny number. I don't know. I know a lot of people like Roseanne, and it resonates with a lot of people, and it displayed a family dynamic that was not often shown in, sitcoms up to that point. However, I don't know if I would say it's one of the best shows of all time.
In the defense of Roseanne, I like every character on the show except for Roseanne.
So you must love what's the name of the show that they
The Connors.
Yeah, you must love The Cotters.
I mean, I'd rather watch that, but Roseanne, like it's like an old school sitcom. So if you don't like that already, you probably won't like it. But I grew up watching a lot of this because my mom and dad like reruns of it. So I've always kind of liked Roseanne as a show. I haven't seen the reboot because I didn't care. Also, they were like, she likes Trump now.
Yeah.
But it probably it'd be the same thing if I feel like you could switch this or Married with Children on, because it did show like I feel like it was one of those shows where it was like, oh, it's a sitcom, but the family's not perfect and they're kind of dicks to each other.
I feel like Married with Children is a much better example of that trope too.
Oh, I agree.
I also like I don't know, Roseanne's ending is so fucking bad.
And they just ignored it in the reboot.
Yeah, they make it a dream or something, which is like, God, fuck it. You know that your ending was that bad, and you can't even have the balls to stick to it. I mean, I guess how else would they get John Goodman back? But, yeah. You definitely should not be higher than the Muppets.
Yeah. Oh, definitely shouldn't be higher than the Muppets, number 68.
The TikTok show.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, Friday. Listen, there is a place for Grey's Anatomy. White people need One Piece. But listen, no.
It's so... I've seen some Grey's Anatomy, but a lot of my current consumption of Grey's Anatomy has been because it appears on my For You page on TikTok. Some of the plot lines in this show are fucking goofy. Like, plots that if you add a laugh track, this would be on Scrubs. Like, they had a plot where, like, a bunch of the characters were in a plane crash in the middle of the woods. And it's like, what does this have to do with being at a hospital?
Yes, can I have a cup
Sarah, do you like Grey's Anatomy?
Do you like Grey's Anatomy?
I like medical shows. I like House.
But do you like Grey's Anatomy?
It didn't stick that well to the chicken.
That's fine.
On the last batch.
You gotta answer. Chrissy's asking. Do you have any?
Do you want ginger?
Yeah, you can just give me another the newer bottle, just so you can have. You can have the other can to try.
Bottle in here.
No, just give me like a big cup. A big cup.
But
yeah, no,
Grey's
I have nothing to
Anatomy
say other than what the fuck is Grey's Anatomy doing on here?
You shouldn't be on this list, Grey's Anatomy.
I don't want to talk about it. Worse than the Muppets. I don't want to talk about this one anymore. Oh, I don't want to talk about this one either.
Really? Why is this on the... Remember our statement of, like, some reality shows should be on this list?
Okay. Thank you for the follow, Vanny. I'm not gonna really... If you follow me, I appreciate your follow, but I'm probably not gonna read it too much because I'm talking to Chrissy. But my sister recently got obsessed with this show. Or, like, a year or two ago got obsessed with it. And she was willing to tell me, like, everything. She's like, did you know this? This? I'm like, hey, I don't fucking care. Congrats, I guess. Or, sorry, I'm not reading this.
Yeah, like, here's the thing. I'm happy that this show has given the effect of normalizing drag a bit more in the community.
I agree with that.
I understand that, and you know what? With that being the big reason, that I do think it could be on the list. Number 67, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like, this is.
Don't make a mess. Don't make a mess.
Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
I only put a few pieces, but there's a lot of vegetables out there, so if you want more.
Okay. I also got pizza pockets, so I'm still hungry.
But yeah, why are you this high up, RuPaul?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 66, The Bob Newhart Show.
I haven't seen it, but it probably does just on historical.
I mean, yeah, by historicalness, I definitely think it should be on. I mean, is this like no, because I guess Dick Van Dyke Show would be like the first where it's like playing a fictionalized version of yourself for a TV show. That and I Love Lucy. But like, I guess this one is the first stand-up getting their own show. Which leads to Roseanne, leads to Home Improvement, so on and so forth. So yeah, you deserve it to be you deserve to be higher up like this compared to RuPaul and Grey's Anatomy. I'm happy you're above them.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 65, a show I love, Freaks and Geeks.
How cool! I love The Big Bang Theory. I'm kidding. I actually really do like Freaks and Geeks.
It started my lifelong crush on Linda Cardellini, so.
I mean, I totally get it.
I howl like Rocket when I see that woman.
But Freaks and Geeks, it's very good. And
it has aged so well.
Yes. I feel like it's aged better than the contemporaries that they are listing it similar to, like Party of Five and Dawson's Creek. I feel like Freaks and Geeks has aged a lot better than those two.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think I also think it's very indicative of how good it is that it's so retrospectively adored, given that it only aired for a year. So if people haven't seen it, you should watch it. Paul Feig and Judd Apatow are in it, so, or made it, but yeah, it's good. Number 64, The Jeffersons. A show that I always saw on TV Land when I would be flipping through
the Cosby
channels. Show. I'm glad you are higher than The Cosby Show. I think The Jeffersons is really good, and I think it deserves to be on the list. I feel bad that the lead actor, what's his name? Is it Sherman?
I think it's Sherman.
Yeah. I should have my first mental association of him be The Jeffersons. You know, his show that he was a lead of. But no, my first mental association with him is that fucking Disney Channel movie Up, Up and Away, where he plays a superhero whose weakness is tinfoil.
That's so fucking funny.
I know. So, you deserve to be on this list, and I'm sorry that my brain doesn't associate you with the Jeffersons. Number 63, Angels in America. I've never seen this show.
I have not seen this one either. So.
But reading the flavor text, it tackles a lot of things. I mean, I know of the Angels in America play, so I'm assuming this is an adaptation of the play.
Yeah, it's a 2-part miniseries.
I mean, the play is a heavy fucking play. So, I feel like I'm sure that if it's good enough to be on this list, especially with the things that it tackles it well.
Oh, now that we're getting into like we're almost at the top half. I feel like we're going to start seeing a lot more of that HBO in the title.
Yep. All right, number 62, The Comeback.
Another HBO show. Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it. I'm very interested in why they had one season in 2005 and one in 2014.
Felt like it.
Okay, apparently, in which Lisa Kudrow, a year removed from Friends, turned her sitcom fame inside out to play a venal, grasping, always camera-ready starlet given a second chance. Okay, so I guess semi-autobiographical. Given the opportunity to feature on TV again, even with the Faustian bargain that is on a bad on purpose sitcom with accompanying reality show about the dramas of her life, she takes it. The elaborate premise gives way to comedy with clean narrative lines and a sense of just how far to push Valerie's humiliation as played by Kudrow. Okay, I mean, that's interesting. I now I kind of want to watch it to know why is it this high on the list. Why are you higher than Muppets?
Why are you higher than Muppets? Oh, someone said it's like Arrested Development. Which, when it's
okay.
good, is good.
That's a good pitch. I mean, we're talking about the good era of Arrested Development, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about like season 5, right? I'll even take like original season 4 if you're really all for it.
All right, yeah, this show deserves to be on this list. Orange is the New Black.
I love it.
I love Orange is the New Black.
I think it falls off. I feel like it is so rough at points, though.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I think it found its footing by the end, but there was some points where I was like, oh. Also, they did the thing where they have it star a white woman and then just kind of ignore her so they could focus on other people, and I'm like, okay, that's why I like this show.
Yeah, very false lead start. But yeah, I mean, I guess when you tackle a subject like this, I can understand why sometimes it may be rough around the edges, but when it's good, it's so good.
Yes, I'll agree.
So yeah, I think you deserve to be on the list. I don't know if I would have you as high as you are, but you should be on the list.
I would maybe put 10 spaces back in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like 72 and push everything else down.
60 in Living Color.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
It is. I think it's a very consistent sketch show.
Mm-hmm.
It was so ahead of its time.
Very much.
It feels like. You hear me out on this one. I feel like it definitely pushed the way of how SNL is now.
Yes, I would agree with that. I feel like a lot of people forget that SNL really got its footing once it started having contemporaries against it. Like, because I would say In Living Color, SCTV, later on with Mad, like, I feel like those helped SNL realize what it had to become. Yeah.
And like, there's no doubt in my mind, and I think I know it already is. SNL's on this list.
Oh yeah.
And we may have differing opinions on SNL. When SNL is good, it's good. It's very good.
I agree.
And I think, as you're right, I think when contemporaries, like, the cast gets skewing a bit younger now to like me and Chrissy's age, where I'm like, oh, a lot of the jokes I'm like consistently I watch every week. Pretty good. And Living Color, it's got the spirit of Living Color, I think. I think that's a lot of the... Unfortunately, the show had to die for it to get better.
Yeah. But, yeah, you definitely deserve to be on this list.
Absolutely.
I'm a bit sad knowing that, because this show... I know, given the position this is to just start having sketch shows on the list... I'm sad knowing that SCTV and Mad TV probably aren't on the list.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I guess I could also argue, as much as I love SCTV, and it did have a lot of, like, you know, big... Because that's, like, the starting point for, like, Catherine O'Hare, Rick Moranis, Harold Ramis, John Candy. A lot of big people came from SCTV. It's also... the biggest fucking nightmare of a show to preserve because it's owned by like 12 different companies. We may never see like a proper compendium of SCTV stuff. Which they've been trying to do some kind of reunion documentary special on Netflix since like 2017. And I have not heard a peep about that. But yeah. Number 59, South Park. Oh, hey, scrolly button. There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that some people have opinions on like modern South Park stuff. But I would say compared to shows that we have had prior on this list, South Park has remained very, very consistent over the years. And it compared to other shows. And also, this is a show that I think gets some of the biggest improvements. Because I tried rewatching some of the first few seasons of South Park, like prior to Bigger, Longer, Uncut.
God, that movie's so good. Completely unrelated. That movie's fucking awesome.
Oh, that movie's fantastic. But I in so many interviews with Matt and Trey, they're like, hey, if we could just erase the first few seasons, we would. I'm not saying they should, but I understand.
Maybe it's because this show's been around my entire life. I've been watching basically since my parents let me watch South Park. Mm-hmm. I feel like I would put this higher.
I would put it higher too. I feel like it's really... put aside the fact that I think the show is still very funny. I think, and everything. I feel like the amount it pushes the envelope it should be higher. Because you can't say that shows like Simpsons and Family Guy and, shows that try to imitate South Park's level wouldn't happen if South Park wasn't there to push it in the first place. And it's such a Teflon show because shows will try to imitate South Park's raunchiness without understanding why it works for South Park. And then they get left in the dust.
I have my issues with the modern seasons. Like, man, I fucking hate the Tegrity stuff.
Oh, no one likes Tegrity. Except for Matt and Trey, apparently.
They really like it. Please. And I know they're stopping to do it, but please. We don't want it anymore. But when it's good, holy shit, South Park is some of the best TV, some of the best comedy on TV.
I wholeheartedly agree. So yeah, you should be higher on the list, South Park, but I'm glad you're on this list. Also, if people have Max, go watch 6 Days to Air. It's one of my favorite little documentary specials for TV shows. Because watching the production cycle of a South Park episode is fucking wild. I love South Park. Will never want to work on that shit.
Yeah, it fucking blows. Number 58. One of my favorite shows. I love
this should be higher.
This if I were making a personal list of all of the shows I've ever seen, this would probably be in my top 10.
This should be... I don't think I have gotten this invested in a show in a long time since, because me and Max watched this show, and we were also fucking wild watching this show, knowing that it was a network show, because we're watching it on Netflix because the show's been over for a few years, and then being like, holy crap, people had to wait a week.
Yeah, I watched it as it aired.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I mean, I remember I watched the finale for it in my dorm room the day after it came out before class, and I felt like I was going to break down because the finale of the show is so good. It is one of my favorite finales of a television show. Legitimately, again, this is a top 10 show for me.
It is.
So it is definitely too low.
It is such a beautiful finale. I don't want to spoil the finale for people. People just need to watch this show. It takes on the topics of the afterlife and what makes a good person and all this stuff in a way that I think other shows haven't, and it's just so good. And the cast is so good. I love Chidi. Chidi's my boy. I love him so much. And Ted Danson as Michael is great. I love all of them. I just, I love
the guy
show.
that played Chidi was a pick of mine. I wish he had a chance for Superman. I think he could have killed it.
Make him Lex Luthor. I want him to be Lex. Or Olsen. I think he would be a good Olsen.
Yeah.
I know they've already cast people for that, but in some universe, I would love him to be either Clark or Jimmy Olsen. But yeah, you should be higher on the list. Number 57, The Chappelle Show.
Okay. Sorry, I'm chewing.
Floor.
Okay. I'm going to say this. Taking away the controversies of Chappelle, because I do not like Chappelle in the current day. This show is great. And it definitely has aged kind of poorly because it's a comedy from Comedy Central from 2003. Of course it's aged bad. There are no shows on Comedy Central that are not offensive in the modern day from 2003.
Yeah.
It was ahead of its time.
It very much is, and it's kind of like the stuff we talked about with Cosby's Show, of like, it has its importance on what it was trying to do at the time, and did succeed in. I mean, being able to point out, hold a mirror up to its own audience kind of thing.
It was weird, again, for how, right-wing Chappelle's become. This show was very progressive at the time, and I don't know what happened. It also is the craziest story of, production, where he just went, in the top of his career, I'm breaking contract and moving to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think it is pretty appropriately placed on the list. Do I wish Chappelle wasn't a piece of shit? I do.
I feel, it's one of those things. I feel like Chappelle Show is one of those shows that is brought up during the whole art versus artist, separating art from the artist argument. And it's because while some parts of it have aged badly, again, early 2000 to mid 2000 show, of course it does. A show is the sum of its parts, right? He's not the only part, but he was the face of it, which makes it harder. But it does deserve to be on this list. I feel like I would put In Living Color higher than Chappelle's Show.
I'm torn on that because I think,
or I would put them side by side.
Yeah, because I feel like Chappelle's Show is Living Color, where it's not held back by network TV and the early 90s.
Cable Living Color.
Yeah.
Living cable.
Yeah, because the Chappelle Show kind of felt like that. I feel like you could have done my favorite Chappelle Show skit is the race draft. I feel like that could have been, if Living Color was on 10 years later, that could have been a Living Color.
I like the Darren in my chat says, I remember the blind KKK member, and then R.S. King says, on the show, it was a skit. There wasn't just a blind KKK member on the show.
Yeah.
All right, number 56, Law & Order Special Victims Unit.
Okay, so I've been watching a lot more of this, because this is Sarah's all-time favorite show. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
No, I agree. You want to know what my playlist of work shows have been the past 2 weeks? It's been SVU, The Nanny, and Moral Oral. One of these shows is not like the other.
Moral, you want to be sad?
Yeah. But I mean, Special Victims Unit is part of my childhood, and I know that's a weird thing to say, but come on. I feel like so many people's mothers had this show just on, so you just know this show existed. And then I got into it. It's a, ripping plots from the headlines type of show, as most Law & Orders kind of are. But there's a reason this is the longest lasting Law & Order. That the spin-off is longer running than the original show ever was. It is really good. I mean, Benson and Stabler are an iconic duo.
Yeah, I would argue this fits a perfect place on the list. I don't think I would change it.
Yeah. I will say, one of my favorite things about SVU is just the guest stars they get, because it's so funny to see, like, Robin Williams, what are you doing here? Oh, you're walking into the Hudson River now. Bye!
We just watched, actually, an episode of SVU. So Sarah caught up on the newest season, and I, when I wasn't working, would walk in and like watch it with her. There was an episode in the most recent season that was so good, I was actually upset it was an SVU episode.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we were watching it, it's about like this guy who has dementia and his wife gets killed and he confesses to doing it. And by the end of it, both Sarah and I were like tearing up because it was so emotional. It was such a good hour. It was legitimately a great hour of TV. And then created by Dick Wolf popped on screen. And I was like, and I was like, motherfucker, Dick Wolf, how did you do that? Where is that skill? Keep doing that.
Keep doing that. Stop having the episode like the episode where Logan Paul is in it.
Fucking have that and stop being like, hey, I'm Dick Wolf. I love cops. Like, I don't care that that they're playing cops. Let them do good stories.
I mean, I appreciate the show more when they're being more investigators and detectives than cops.
Yeah.
But it's like, and you know, I tend to get more invested during those investigative or the courtroom parts than the you have the right to remain silent parts. But yeah, SVU definitely deserves its spot, and I don't think I would really move it much.
Yeah.
A show that I think needs to be higher. BoJack Horseman. This should be in the top 50. I don't think a show has made me more introspective of myself than BoJack. In, like, recent memory.
Yeah.
It is a show that will... If you are not in the right headspace for it, don't watch it.
I'm very mixed on the ending of BoJack.
Well, I mean, everyone has their theories about the ending of BoJack.
But, like, I think BoJack probably should be a little higher. I'd maybe move it up 10 spaces.
I would either put it in the top 50 or it would be number 50.
Yeah. But, like...
Yeah.
BoJack is one of those things, like, I'm getting better about it, but I'm not a big animated strip person. Like, TV kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing it. I'm watching Carol on the End of the World. It's pretty good so far. So, guys, I get a little bit of grace. But BoJack surprised me because I thought it was like, oh, it's just kind of this shitty comedy, and then it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if they did a list of best TV episodes of all time, Free Churro or View from Halfway Down would be on that list.
Like 3 BoJack episodes would be on it.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you deserve to be on the list. Gilmore Girls.
54, Gilmore Girls. I've never seen it, but...
Never seen it. I know of it. Of course I know of it. But, like, I know it more from parodies of Gilmore Girls than Gilmore Girls itself.
I don't know if this applies to Gilmore Girls, but I do have some bones to pick with the directors of the show.
Oh, go right ahead.
Amy Sherman Palladino. I watched Marvelous Miss Maisel. I watched the first 2.5 seasons. I hate you, Amy. Not because you did anything wrong. It's because your directing style is so fucking good, and I get mad I can't replicate it. There's like some, if you've seen Miss Maisel, there's some
I love Marvelous Miss. I watched.
There's some like transition between location. There's like a transition into like from New York City to like Paris, and they use like the top of the Eiffel Tower and the top of like a building in New York. I don't remember what it is. It's been a couple of years since I saw it, and I legitimately paused it and went, "Motherfucker, that was such a smart transition. I wouldn't have thought of that."
Yeah, I mean, like, hey, with how much I've heard of Gilmore Girls, you definitely earned your spot in the public consciousness.
Yeah, like, I mean, I think I've heard it's apparently also amazing. So
yeah, and hey, if it wasn't for you being so good, I don't think Amy would have gotten the green light to make Miss Maisel. So thank you for that.
So, Amy, I love you, but I also hate you. I hope you keep making good stuff, though.
This is what you want to do to Amy. Number 53, 6 Feet Under.
I haven't watched it, but I have seen the finale of it, which is insane. It is a beautiful.
What is
one of the best
spoil
finale.
it for me. What is the finale?
So the whole show is they run a funeral home. The finale shows the rest. It shows a montage to a Sia song, the rest of everyone's life. You find out when the character dies and how they die.
I feel like Simpsons parodied this recently, so
They probably did.
okay.
It is emotional. It's great, and I'm like, it's a good show. I mean, it's like from, I would say, that golden age of like HBO before they started doing like genre shows like Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if you like that era of like HBO TV where it's a lot of more of like intimate dramas, you'd probably like it.
I really hope Euphoria is not on this list with the level we're at right now. I don't know how I would feel that Muppets gets the bottom 50 and Euphoria would be in the top 50.
I mean, I like Euphoria, but it's yeah, I agree.
The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Okay. Our first talk show.
I actually do think talk shows do have a place here.
Yeah. I feel like talk shows more... I feel like talk shows have more of a right to exist than like news programming, because there's a news programming one that's very high on this list that annoys me.
I'm okay with this. I like Carson. I didn't watch a lot of him. I watched with my parents because they grew up in the Carson era.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched some clips from that documentary on Max, and every clip I saw was fucking hilarious. So apparently that was just how it was.
Yeah.
He'd probably be the only Tonight Show that I'd be okay with maybe the exception of Conan.
Yeah. I do respect Carson though too for of the late night host, he is probably the least ass kissing of the hosts.
Yes.
Because he had the whole thing of like, he would bring stand-ups, and if they weren't funny enough, they didn't get to sit down. They didn't get to sit on the chair. So, I think I respect that. I respect that energy that I think we don't really get anymore. I feel like I don't think it ended with Carson, but I think Carson's very showing of talk shows before they kind of became the advertisement show that they kind of become for, like, when you get guest stars, all they're talking about is the new movie and all that kind of stuff. So
that's probably the biggest issue I have with late night now. Especially, unfortunately, the Tonight Show I think is the worst offender of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's why like younger generations have different perspectives on late night. Like, until I kind of got like a history lesson on late night, I was also kind of in that brain idea where like, late night, what the fuck do I need a talk show?
Yeah.
But like, there is a place for them, and they kind of have a purpose. And Carson wasn't the first. He was not the first host of the Tonight Show, but he definitely made it a staple, and I think it's a format that still has a place today. So I think for that, Carson has to be on this list. Wherever you place him doesn't really matter to me.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things, it's a very liquid placement with it. So, yeah. Okay, number 51, Arrested Development.
Yes, but also cut it off at around season 5. Don't put season 5.
Yeah, let's just open up the elements of this website and get rid of the 2018 through 2019 thing.
Yeah, keep 2013, because I'm gonna say it. Season 4 has aged like fine wine, especially the original cut.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it deserves its place. I may have put it the lower part of top 50, but I would still put it in the top 50.
This at one point was like one of my favorite shows, but it definitely has. I have not felt the want to go back for it as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but like it's still a great show.
You deserve being on here. All right, number 50, My So-Called Life.
Pretty good. Also stars Jared Leto. but it's pretty good. It's definitely. What do you mean you can't be serious?
What about Arrested? I don't know if season 4 is that good. Okay.
Watch it now. Watch the original cut now. It works. It's experimental, but it works. My So Called Life's good. I've watched it. It's one of the shows. It's got the same issue I think that I would say with like Freaks and Geeks, where it's definitely a product of the era, and unfortunately, it's like impossible to watch with the original soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
So, have fun.
I feel like So Called Life has the benefit too of compared to the shows that were airing around the time, also about being a teenager in high school, one of the hardest things on the planet. It was definitely more I think it had more grit to it than say a 90210 or Dawson or something. So I'll give it that.
I think at 50 though, it's pretty perfectly placed.
Yes, number 49, Watchmen.
Oh, I love this show. I
haven't watched it, so this is all you.
So if you ever go to watch the show, I'm not gonna really spoil anything because I think this is a show that like, I think you should go in kind of with a fresh face. To let you know, if you're gonna watch the show, don't go in expecting a sequel to the movie because it is not a sequel to the movie. It expects you to have read the comics, which is bold. Sarah and I watched this, and Sarah has never read Watchmen. She has no real interest in it, except she does now that she's watched the show. But she liked it, and I've watched the show twice, and I would watch this a third time.
Okay, that's a high praise.
It is probably the only thing that has understood Watchmen.
Well, that's a hard task. I've read the Watchmen comics and watched the film and everything. So, would you say that it deserves being number 49? Should it be higher? Should it be lower?
I would probably put it higher. Also, the movie is not bad. I know there's some hate to it. The movie's not bad. I
like the movie fine.
It's misunderstands.
It's not the best adaptation. It's nowhere near a great adaptation of Watchmen, but it's not bad.
Yeah, like I think people are harsh on it for kind of no reason. It's got one of the best openings of a movie ever. That montage at the beginning is great.
Yeah. All right, number 48, The Shield.
I've seen it.
I've never seen this show.
Short. Oh, Hannah, thank you for the raid. You cooked? Oh God, Friendlock fans.
Oh no. Okay. Guess we get.
Hey! If you make a Gerber cooked video, you owe me $10.
Yeah.
You owe me $10.
Oh, you owe Gerber $10, and then you need to give me $10.
Yeah, because it's only fair. We're co-streaming.
Yeah, exactly. But I've never seen the show.
Also, Raiders, make sure you refresh so that
apparently it's about a corrupt LA cop and all these things, and it was very influential. So we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's written by Ryan. It's Ryan Murphy's cop show.
My scroller wheel acts up. 47, Friday Night Lights.
I haven't watched it.
Neither have I. I've heard of the name.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I have not watched it. But I've heard it's great, so sure.
Yeah, sure.
Number 46, The Leftovers.
The Leftovers.
I have not seen it, but I've heard only good things. And David Lindelof also made Watchmen, and he's apparently just a great TV maker. So,
all right, number 45, The Dick Van Dyke Show.
Well deserved.
Well deserved.
I think I like Mary Tyler Moore more.
I agree. I feel like if the next one is Mary Tyler Moore Show, or if Mary Tyler Moore Show is, I want it to be on the list and I want it to be high, I'd be happy with that. But Dick Van Dyke is such a cool guy.
I mean, I don't know the opinions. I don't know where the world feels about the most recent Mary Poppins movie. But like, God, I still love him fucking dancing.
Oh, I love the new Mary Poppins movie. A lot of people who I've seen give bad opinions about it, a lot of them boil down to, I don't like how happy it is. And it's like, what the?
I do really like, to spoil Mary Poppins Returns, even though we're talking about Dick Van Dyke. I love the cameo at the end of the movie. It was absolutely supposed to be Julie Andrews, but she said no. So they just were like, shit, we need another old British white woman. So they got Angela
Lansbury, baby.
It's one of my favorite things because it's like, there's no way they should have cut that.
Yeah. But you know, whatever. I'm fine with Mrs. Potts being here.
But Dick Van Dyke's great.
Dick Van Dyke's great, and the show is so funny. It is. I actually rewatched some Dick Van Dyke show recently because they had a parody of it on The Nanny, and I was like, man, now I want to go watch Dick Van Dyke show. It still holds up. Great. It's very cute. I love it. Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay, where might differ on this? Because I know we talked about this is one that really got you mad.
I think
I like I'm not a big Star Trek fan, but I think I like this one more.
Here's the thing. My annoyance towards it wasn't for the fact that Star Trek: The Next Generation would have been higher than the original series. I'm just a spoiler. The original series isn't on the list at all. I would have put the original one at least in the lower 50.
Yeah.
But The Next Generation is deserving on this list because The Next Generation is one of the best Star Trek series.
I'm not a big Star Trek guy, so unfortunately I don't know a lot about it. But from what I've seen, Next Generation's fun. Next Generation's a great show.
Yeah, Next Generation's fun. It's great. The cast is fantastic. Data is my favorite character. And it has Q. And who doesn't like Q? So, it deserves. And I think this is a good spot to put it. Yeah. I don't know if I would put it higher, but I definitely wouldn't put it lower. Number 43, The Larry Sanders Show. Never heard of this. I have not seen it. I don't like how he's looking at me.
It's apparently like a late night show, but it's also like not a late. It's kind of like an Eric Andre type show.
Ah, okay.
So, sure. I don't know anything about this, but sure.
Number 42, The Americans.
I've seen a little bit of this. It's very good.
I've never heard of it, so what is it?
It's about two Russian spies who are sleeper agents during Reagan-era America.
Oh, Matthew Rhys is in the show.
Yeah, and Kerry Russell is, they play the couple.
Oh, nice. Okay, well.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen all of it. I've only seen a little bit of it, so.
What from what you've seen, is it above Muppets?
Maybe. Still better than Homeland.
That's true.
It's way better than Homeland. It's not racist.
The reality show that defined reality shows.
I actually think it kind of probably is in a perfect spot.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. I am shocked that it ran as long as it did.
I did not know it. I thought it stopped in like 2007.
Yeah, same. But yeah, no. I mean, you can, people's opinions on reality shows aside, you can't deny the impact that shows like The Real World just had on public zeitgeist.
It also, it really showed, it was probably one of those first shows that really showed a look into the current generation. Like, if they did a show about this now with people our age, it would fucking scare people. That's what the show did. Like, the parents were not a fan of this.
Well, yeah. I mean, they say it in the flavor text, too, because it premiered at a very tumultuous time. Because, tail end of the HW presidency, it had, there was, a lot of, LGBT stuff back when, before it was, even really discussed on TV in a positive way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think it's an important show. Your opinion on reality shows, I can say The Real World is important.
Yes. So, I think it's been a perfect spot, 41. I would move it.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Fuck
I love
you,
Buffy.
Joss Whedon. I've never seen it, but fuck you, Joss Whedon.
Yeah, look. Fuck you, Joss Whedon. I will agree. Buffy is really good, though. But I would I put it at number 40? I love Buffy, but I don't know if I would put it as high as it is.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have put it where Freaks and Geeks were. Not like switching spots, but just in that general area.
Okay.
But it's really good. And I mean, it did give me one really great joke from Robot Chicken where Seth Green asks, because they canceled Robot Chicken, Seth Green asks for help from Joss Whedon, and Joss Whedon's like, oh, how else can I repay you for bailing on Buffy after the first 2 seasons? Fuck Joss Whedon, but that's a fun, very funny
joke. That's a
joke.
good joke. I'll read the next one because I have words.
Go right ahead.
Number 39, The Office.
Woo!
I don't like this show.
I'm very ambivalent on it. I don't understand the cult it has around it.
It's so... I will say the best thing it did is it launched a ton of careers, and for that I am grateful because I like John Krasinski. I like Michael Schur.
Mm-hmm.
Mindy Kaling can be good when she's not doing some shows.
Yeah.
But God, I fucking hate the show. The cult of personality around it's annoying. And honestly, I don't think it's that funny. A lot of the jokes just kind of boil down to like, well, look at this guy, he's suffering.
Yeah, it's such a... I mean, like, I understand the type of show that it is. It spawned a lot of, like, you know, the mockumentary type of shows. Like, I understand why it's important, but I also just don't understand, of all the things to spur this show? I don't know. I find the constant omnipresent love of The Office to be confusing. The fact that it still tops so many like highest streamed show lists is very weird to me.
And honestly, I don't know if it's just me. It's still a format being used to this day, and I think it's kind of overstayed its welcome. The mockumentary.
I agree.
The workplace mockumentary. I'm bored. It's done. It's been done to as much as it can.
I also feel like some shows choose the mockumentary style that doesn't need the mockumentary style at all.
Yeah.
Like, Modern Family, I don't know why it's that, and all this stuff, like, I don't know. But, yeah. It's on here. I would put it lower.
I probably wouldn't put it on here, but I do think it probably has a place.
Not above the Muppets.
Not above the Muppets.
Alright, The X-Files.
I haven't seen it, but apparently they're coming back again.
Again?
Yeah, apparently they're doing a Netflix version.
Sure. Why not? I like The X-Files. I mean, like, David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson are great. And, you know, I love going into not the sci-fi, supernaturally mystery stuff. I think that's cool. It's a very cool show. Would I put it at number 38? I don't know, but I could understand it being so high up that this show was a lot of people's baby's first sci-fi.
That's why I feel like I think it's perfect where it is.
Yeah. I feel like it got a lot more normies into more surreal things.
Yeah, and honestly, like it's pretty consistently good. I mean, the last season where I think they weren't really colder, fucking Duchovny and Anderson weren't really in the show.
Yeah,
kind of is not great. But I've heard the revival's pretty good.
Let's see how they handle it on Netflix.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be good.
Number 37, Enlightened. Don't know what the hell this is. Who is this
woman? I don't know what this is. It's Laura Dern. Sure. I like Laura Dern.
Sure. Number 36, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yes. Yes.
I agree. This show is so... I love this show.
If you've never seen fucking Curb Your Enthusiasm, it is the most... It is like... So I don't like The Office because like the cringe comedy there is like uncomfortable and like it's people being mean to each other kind of just for the sake of it. Curb Your Enthusiasm is kind of the same thing, but like it's so
You believe
outlandish.
And
It's,
like,
yeah, it's so outlandish. Where like I'm actually laughing at it.
and it uses the whole like how it's filmed very well. I just love this show. I guess hot take. I like this show more than Seinfeld.
That's fair.
I feel like it has
fair.
similar energies. I mean, it's often put as a companion piece because, well, Larry S. David made Seinfeld. But I feel like this show has the aspects of Seinfeld that I really like and just makes it into its own thing.
Also, to correct you, unfortunately, Jorge, the show is not canceled. Larry David like goes on the idea of I'm going to end the show every 5 minutes.
He's always on the edge. Don't push him.
They apparently last season they filmed an ending for the finale where Larry David dies.
Does he go to heaven and come back?
Because he wanted to end the show, and they were like, maybe don't do that. And he's like, fine, I'll do it again.
I mean, that's one of the. I think part of the reason the show feels like I believe the asshole-ish and anger here is it's just from Larry's soul.
Larry David. He seems like a bitch to be around, but goddamn, he's so fucking funny. Because he's not really acting; he's just kind of like a slightly more of a dick version of himself.
He just kind of exists.
Yeah, definitely give it a watch if you haven't.
All right, number 35, a late night with David Letterman. Inspired choice to put the Pee Wee Herman interview on as the image for this, but sure.
Also, inspired to use his NBC show, I probably would put Late Night with Letterman instead, or The Late Show with Letterman. Misspoke.
But I guess like picking the thing that started Letterman more.
Yeah, but like I think. If I were to go TV, Letterman does have to. I think he has to have a place on it because it's like Letterman and the Leno whole debacle was such a part of culture of like the era that like there's no doubt in my mind that either of them would have made it, and they made the right choice by picking Letterman over Leno.
Yes, and I agree
on this list.
And I feel like Letterman, at least in the beginning of his career, kind of pushed his boundaries with what the network would allow him to do. Because we see John Oliver like constantly shit on AT&T and stuff on the show. Letterman kind of started that.
Letterman made NBC villains on his show.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's crazy to me just how much Letterman, because he was. Like, you consider it, he was pretty much consistently on the air from 1982 to, like, 2014. Like, just on TV, going through so much major shit. Like, I hate to bring it up again because we talked about it with Jon Stewart. Letterman also had an amazing post 9/11 speech. Like, Letterman was the nightly voice of, like, a generation. And, like, we didn't really, Kieran and I really get to experience that because I was, like, we were, like, fucking, like, 13 or 14 when he stopped, but like he was important, and I think Letterman does deserve a spot here. Would I switch to the show out? Yes, but would I change the place now?
I don't know.
Guys, we're probably not going to see a game show. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we.
Actually, there is one.
Oh fuck! You're right. I did actually remember there was one as I said that.
Yeah. All right. ER, the not the starting point for George Clooney.
But a pretty big point is cool.
But a pretty big... I mean, I would say that this is a better way to say this is how you start your career than the Look Who's Talking TV show.
Or Batman and Robin.
It's a good medical drama.
I haven't seen it, but it stars George Clooney, so I'm sure it's probably good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, you watch it and there's definitely a lot of blueprints that modern medical shows do.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of game shows, this
Jeopardy.
is Jeopardy.
My favorite game show of all time.
I love Jeopardy. I would lose in the first minute on Jeopardy.
I'm pretty good.
I mean, it depends on what the topics are, really. You know?
Yes.
But I love Jeopardy. It deserves to be on the list, honestly. Some people may be like, why the hell is it this high up? Jeopardy's just, a constant. And also, I like that we have a game show that... What is Jeopardy's gimmick besides know things, Yeah,
it's perfect for that.
I feel like it is truly a skill-based game show. Unlike so many game shows that are either luck-based or, have some kind of kitschy gimmick, Jeopardy's just tried and true. And I respect that.
I do.
Would I make it number 33? I don't know. It would be in the top 50. I feel like I would put it maybe like 3 spaces back.
Yeah. The next show, though, I haven't seen, so I can't contribute.
Lost. Lost is the epitome of mixed feelings. I feel like Dallas, it's a very community-building show, because so much of it is shrouded in mystery,
That's why I don't think I can watch it now.
However, you can tell when the show realized that they're making it up as it goes along, kind of thing. And I feel like I would put it probably where Arrested Development is. Yeah. Just because I feel like, there are shows that are lower on this list that keep their quality much more consistent. And I feel like that is an important part of a show. Like, are you putting it high up on the list for the times it was good and we're just going to ignore when it fell off? I don't know if that's the best way to go about it. But it deserves to be on the list. All right.
Just like the next show.
Survivor.
100%. Probably in my top 20, if I'm playing to be honest.
Really?
For how much this show I consumed when I was younger and want to consume again, absolutely.
But, look, I've watched some Survivor. I really like it, but you seem to be the one with the more passionate opinion.
Listen, I think I'm going to keep it short, but, it's just a damn good show to watch. It's damn good entertainment. It's just fun, and I feel like if I'm going to put a reality or, a game show, I feel like it kind of got to be something like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, perfect.
I agree. Okay, so after this next one, I do need to go do stuff, so maybe we can pick up from number 30 tomorrow or something. Or
I won't be able to tomorrow, but we can schedule. I was actually going to say, I didn't want to. I was a little late.
We'll schedule to do 30 onwards. But man, what a note to end on. I don't know Hill Street Blues.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a little research. On Hill Street Blues.
But yeah, okay, gritty precinct show, from NYPD Blue to The Wire. Okay, so it's very much a blueprint show. This show influenced others. So, okay, well, either way, we will do number 29 onwards next time, and follow us on.
If you peak at 29, it'll be a fun one to come back to.
Oh boy. Okay, so we will see you guys next time with this. We just follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know when we decide. Not tomorrow, but sometime soon.
Yeah, probably within the next week.
Yes, within the next week. Till then, everyone, y'all have a good night, and see you next time.
Have a good night, chat.